It is no secret that women's sports often seems to take a backseat to men's. And it's not because they don't want to show up the guys. Let's face it, some women's sport just isn't on a par when it comes to performance and drawing crowds. And that might be true, but one thing's for sure, the tides of popularity may be on their way to shifting. The recent women's NCAA basketball tournament of 2024, a prime example. It all kicked off with this year's women's college basketball season, which saw a dramatic surge in viewership. Maybe it was the game, or perhaps folks were just tuning in to see if the mascots would finally start a dance-off. But Fox reported a staggering 48% rise in TV ratings. This frenzy wasn't just confined to the small screen. Higher ticket prices and amped-up advertising confirmed that women's college basketball, at least this year, was no longer on the bench. As the season progressed, networks began to adopt Super Bowl-like ad sales strategies. The only thing missing was the halftime show with a pop star. The rise in popularity and demand was palpable, with top-viewed games featuring Iowa drawing in millions. The national championship game between Iowa and LSU even set a record as the most-watched women's college basketball game ever. So captivating, even the squirrels in the park paused to watch the game on their tiny squirrel TVs. In the midst of this wave of growing popularity, the women's NCAA basketball tournament rolled in, like a diva making a grand entrance on a red carpet. This year's March Madness was less of a tournament and more of an unpredictable drama, filled with surprising plot twists and star-studded performances. Several top-seeded teams fell early in the tournament, tripping over their own shoelaces, or so it seemed, paving the way for the underdogs to rise and steal the show. The championship game was an intense showdown between South Carolina and Iowa. South Carolina slammed their way to victory, just like a cookie making its satisfying plunge into a glass of milk, defeating Iowa 87-75. Despite the loss, Caitlin Clark of Iowa still managed to shine, setting multiple records and earning high praises from South Carolina coach Dawn Staley for elevating the sport. This thrilling season culminated in a historic moment where the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship drew more viewers than the Men's Championship for the first time. South Carolina's dunking victory over Iowa attracted a whopping 18.87 million viewers, in comparison to UConn's win over Purdue that had 14.82 million viewers. To sum it all up, the 2023 to 2024 women's college basketball season marked a turning point for women's sports. Standout performances, unexpected outcomes, and growing support for women's athletics were key highlights of the season. It has long been said that as soon as the performance and excitement levels rise, and the normal aggressive marketing strategies into marketing the women's game, high viewership would be a no-brainer. And judging by the events of the last several weeks, maybe that time is finally upon us.